You might not even notice it at first. Her replies slow down, she keeps coming up with reasons not to meet, and when you finally do see her, it's like the fire is gone. No warmth, no excitement. You're left confused, maybe even hurt, because you honestly believed you were doing everything right. But here's the tough truth. What you thought was being respectful or caring may have actually come across as weak. The little signals she's been dropping, they weren't random. They were warnings. And ignoring them has been pushing her away slowly but surely. If you're done with being ghosted, tired of the excuses, and sick of feeling rejected, this is your moment to wake up. Drop no more weakness in the comments if you're ready to hear what most people won't dare say. This isn't about playing games or manipulating women. It's about understanding the instincts that shape attraction. Instincts that have existed since the beginning of humanity. Women don't lose respect over nothing. They lose it when they sense weakness, especially emotional or behavioral. Here's the problem. Modern society tells men to just be nice and everything will work out. But being overly nice, always available, and constantly looking for her approval, that's a fast track to killing attraction. It's not that women are cruel. They're wired to seek strength, not just muscles or confidence, but emotional stability and leadership. When you lean on her too much for direction or validation, she starts to feel like she's in a relationship with a boy, not a man. Let's break down what's really going on and how to flip the script. Sign 1. Chasing validation. Chasing validation is one of the most damaging behaviors a man can engage in. It's when you constantly seek a woman's approval, reassurance, or permission for your decisions. It may come off as attentiveness or care, but to her it signals insecurity. When you're always texting to check if she's upset, asking what she wants to do every time, or constantly wondering if you're enough, what you're really communicating is that you don't trust yourself. This neediness becomes a weight she didn't ask to carry. She begins to see you as someone who needs emotional babysitting rather than a man who can stand on his own, and once she perceives you as emotionally dependent, her respect starts to fade fast. Women don't want to be the center of your emotional world. They want to orbit a man who has his own center. When you stop asking, "What do you want to eat?" and start saying, "I'm craving steak, let's try this place," it's not about food, it's about leadership. Confidence in small decisions builds authority and strength in her eyes. To reverse this, you need to build internal validation. Start asking yourself, "Do I approve of this decision?" rather than waiting for her input. Focus on your goals, passions, and personal development. When your sense of worth comes from within, her approval becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Ironically, the moment you stop chasing her validation is when she starts freely giving it to you. Sign 2. Avoiding confrontation. Avoiding confrontation is often mistaken for being easygoing or keeping the peace, but over time, it breeds resentment and kills respect. When you let things slide, when she disrespects you, shows up late, or cancels on you last minute, you may think you're being understanding, but she interprets it differently. In her eyes, you're showing weakness, not strength. Women instinctively test men, not out of cruelty, but because they need to know. Can you stand your ground? Can you lead? Can you protect? If you won't even stand up for yourself, how could you stand up for her when life gets hard? The man who fears confrontation communicates one message: your opinion matters more than my self-respect. That's not leadership, it's submission. And no woman is attracted to a man she subconsciously views as submissive. She won't always say it, but her behavior will change. The affection will fade. The passion will die. Respect is built through boundaries. That doesn't mean being aggressive. It means being firm. If she's consistently late, say, "I value my time. If this keeps happening, I won't continue to make plans." If she disrespects you, address it calmly but assertively. When you show you're not afraid to walk away from disrespect, you become a man she can trust to handle real challenges. Setting boundaries shows self-worth. It says, "I don't need you to like me to like myself." That's powerful. And power, when controlled with calm confidence, is deeply attractive. Sign 3. Oversharing weakness. Vulnerability, when used correctly, builds intimacy. But there's a line. When you cross from being vulnerable to emotionally dumping your insecurities, you move from connection to repulsion. Many men, trying to be open and real, end up oversharing weakness, and they don't realize how much it damages their image in her eyes. Telling her you're going through something tough is fine. Telling her you don't know what you're doing in life, feel like a failure, or can't cope, without showing a plan or strength behind it, makes her feel unsafe. She's looking for a rock, not another burden. When you make her your emotional therapist, she starts seeing you as the one who needs guidance, not the one who can provide it. That imbalance flips the polarity. Attraction dies. It's not because she's heartless. It's because deep inside, she's wired to feel safe with a man who can carry his own weight. The key is to frame your struggle with strength. Work has been stressful, but I'm learning and making adjustments is completely different from I hate my job and feel lost. One shows resilience, the other shows helplessness. Don't bottle everything up. That's not healthy. But before opening up, ask yourself, am I looking for connection, or am I dumping my pain in hopes of being rescued? Women respect men who acknowledge weakness, but lead themselves through it. That's strength. That's masculine vulnerability. And that's what keeps attraction alive. Sign 4. Overcompensating to impress. When a man feels insecure about his worth, he often tries to overcompensate. He brags about money, drops names, flexes his car, his job, or his status. But what he doesn't realize is that every attempt to impress her only highlights how unimpressed he is with himself. Confidence is silent, insecurity is loud, and women can spot the difference instantly. You think you're showing her your high value, but if your energy screams, "Please notice how great I am," she knows you're trying too hard. A confident man never needs to advertise himself. His body language, his calm presence, his purposeful tone, it speaks volumes. And that's what draws women in. Overcompensation isn't just about wealth or success. It shows up when you talk about how many women want you, how hard you train at the gym, or how in demand you are. It's a cover-up, a distraction from the insecurity you haven't dealt with. Here's the truth. Nothing is more attractive than a man who is grounded in himself. A man who can say little and still command attention. A man who doesn't need to prove, perform, or persuade because his life speaks for itself. So instead of trying to impress, focus on becoming impressive. Improve your character, your discipline, your purpose. The more fulfilled and confident you become internally, the less you'll need external validation, and paradoxically, that's exactly when women become the most attracted to you. Sign 5. Emotional outbursts. Nothing erodes attraction faster than emotional instability. When a man can't control his temper, lashes out over small frustrations, or becomes overwhelmed and breaks down emotionally, a woman's instinct shifts from desire to distrust. You might think that showing your feelings will make her see your depth. But the truth is, uncontrolled emotion signals volatility. And volatility does not feel safe. It feels dangerous or childish. Women don't want to manage your emotions. They want to feel protected by a man who manages his own. An occasional moment of emotion is human. But if your default reaction to stress is anger, tears, or panic, she will slowly back away. Not because she doesn't care, but because she no longer sees you as dependable. Women crave emotional leadership. That means being calm under pressure, being grounded when things go wrong, being able to say, "I've got this," even when things aren't perfect. You don't need to be stoic and cold, but you do need to be composed. Your emotions should serve your values, not override them. When you lose control, you send the message, "I can't handle life." And if you can't handle your life, how can she trust you to handle hers? Start by learning emotional discipline. When triggered, breathe, think. Respond with clarity, not chaos. And if you're overwhelmed, don't unload it on her. Go for a walk, journal, hit the gym, call a mentor. Then come back with solutions, not just reactions. Strength isn't the absence of emotion, it's the mastery of it. When she sees that in you, she won't just respect you, she'll admire you. Every man loses a woman at some point. Not because he wasn't good enough, but because he wasn't aware enough. Respect isn't something a woman gives freely. It's something you earn. And more importantly, something you maintain through consistent strength, self-respect, and grounded masculinity. The painful truth is that attraction isn't just about love or chemistry. It's about how you carry yourself when no one's watching. It's about the silent cues you give off through your actions, your tone, your boundaries, and your emotional state. If you saw yourself in any of these signs, don't beat yourself up. Awareness is the first step. Every man has made mistakes. What separates strong men from the rest is their ability to course correct, to see the patterns, own them, and evolve. You don't need to become perfect. You just need to become intentional. Work on yourself not to win her back, but to never lose yourself again. Because when you build a version of you that no longer needs to chase, beg, or prove, you become the man she never thought she could lose. And if she's already gone, let her go. Your future doesn't belong to the version of you that lost her. It belongs to the man you're about to become.